Gamer here with you once again with some very sad news in the world of professional wrestling that I thought that I was not going to hear anytime soon, and I am just shocked by this news as a wrestling fan and as a fan of ECW and hardcore wrestling. I am here to report that Sabu has passed away at the age of 60. I want to take this time to first and foremost send my condolences to his family, friends, and fans, and other wrestlers that knew him. I want to also take the time to share my favorite Sabu memories and how I got to become a fan of his. I want to talk about how I became a fan of his, share some of my favorite memories of what I remember Sabu for, and some career retrospectives. So, yeah, to start it off, Sabu got his start in ECW in 1993 after Paul Heyman took over as the booker from Eddie Gilbert. And at first, Sabu had like a Hannibal Lecter type mask, and he would come out on a stretcher. He would moonsault people through tables. And I remember hearing stories about how at first Sabu didn't want to do the whole Hannibal Lecter deal because he didn't like the mask. He was like, why do I got to wear this thing? And he didn't like it. And eventually, he got his start not only in ECW, but he went to Japan and competed in death matches over there. And uh, I never met the guy personally, but I heard stories of him having all these scars on his body from someone who would describe what he looked like. And and he would compete in barbed wire matches. He was known for the hardcore style of professional wrestling. Barbed wire matches, blood, chairs, tables, uh, the Arabian Facebuster. I remember he and Rob Van Dam competed in several classic ECW matches, and I remember the lights would go out in the ECW arena, and who would be in there when they came up? It would be Sabu, and he'd be tearing it up. And I remember distinctly when they built up the angle between Sabu and Taz for Barely Legal in 1997. They built up that angle for Barely Legal in the best way possible because it was, not just Wrestler A versus Wrestler B, it was Legacy A versus Legacy B. I mean, come on. I was expecting um, Sabu to put Taz through a table and beat him 1, 2, 3 at Barely Legal. But that didn't happen. No, no. Taz instead used his MMA background and choked Sabu out with the Kata Hajime. But, I mean, Sabu had many a classic matches throughout his career. He competed in the original ECW over in Japan. He competed in WWE's version of ECW, which, I mean, was a joke. But that's not the reason why I'm doing this. Hey viewers, what's up? What are your favorite Sabu memories? Just doing some reminiscing because Sabu has passed away at the age of 60. So I wanted to kind of just take this opportunity to reminisce a little bit. So I remember Sabu would be in an on-again, off-again relationship with Rob Van Dam, and Bill Alfonso, the manager of champions, the man who calls it right down the middle, would manage Sabu from time to time. And I remember Sabu, he would always wear either purple tights with white or green with white, or maybe red or yellow with white uh, tights. And I remember Sabu would always point his finger to the sky. He would never speak. You never heard the man speak until he went to WWE in 2008. Then they had him start talking. And in my opinion, I'm not trying to dump on the man's legacy. He was a hell of a wrestler. But to me, when they had him do that, that ruined the mystique. To me, that ruined the mystique when Vince McMahon had Sabu speak. I liked it better when Sabu, would not speak and he would just do his thing to protect his gimmick. And one of my favorite Sabu matches of all time was Born to Be Wired, 1997 in ECW. It was Sabu versus Terry Funk, and I remember Joey Styles saying Sabu loved and admired Terry Funk, and he said, "Could you see what or imagine what Sabu would do if he hated, vehemently, adamantly hated his opponent because he loved Terry Funk and he admired Terry Funk for his hardcore style of wrestling." So Sabu and Terry competed in a barbed wire match. It got so brutal that they had to use barbed wire cutters to cut them out of the barbed wire, and they were concerned about Sabu losing his vision from that. Um, let's see. I remember Rob Van Dam and Sabu competed in stretcher matches. Um, I've already mentioned on Sabu versus Taz at Barely Legal. That was a big one. Sabu versus Just Incredible. That was another big ECW match. Um, let's see. As far as like, I know his last match was in GCW Game Changer Wrestling against Joey Janela, and he went out, as Sabu. He didn't compromise. It was hard, from what I heard. It was hardcore. It was crazy. It was insane. It's on YouTube. I'm sure you can look it up and watch it or listen to it. In my case, so I just wanted to say thank you to Sabu for being the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death defying Sabu that we all knew and loved. And that your legacy will live on forever in the annals of professional wrestling, and your legacy will not be forgotten. Now, as I said before, I never got to meet the man, but I heard nothing but good things to say from people who did get to meet him in the business. And I'm coming at you as a fan, as a wrestling fan, not someone in the business, but as a wrestling fan specifically, to say that Sabu was an innovator. He was a, by God, pioneer of hardcore wrestling. Now, they said Tommy Dreamer was the innovator of violence. I say Sabu was the innovator of violence before Tommy Dreamer became the innovator of violence. So I would say that title should have went to Sabu. So to wrap this up, I just want to say thank you to Sabu for being the insane, crazy professional wrestler that you were. RIP, your legacy will live on forever. So this has been my tribute to Sabu, born 1964, passed away 2025 at age 60. RIP, Sabu, your legacy will live on forever.